Rugby would if I was...
Hello and welcome to Scotstoun and this week's Warriors HQ. At Scotstoun next Monday we'll be hosting an open training session. The hour-long session will kick off at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and as we gear up to the business end of the season, Dave Rennie has invited the Warrior Nation to come along and watch the boys train. Full details about the session can be found on all of our social media channels, so get on there and register to come along. We'll begin this week's episode though, as we always do, with a visit to the analysis section. Welcome back to the analysis section of Warriors HQ. As always, I'm joined by Greg Wallard, and this week we've got Jason O'Halloran. Jason, 10 tries against Zebre. You're going to talk us through a couple of them. How pleased were you with how we played in attack that day?
Oh look, I thought Adam did a fantastic job at 10, varying our game. He put some great kicks in behind them at times to turn them around, and also I think particularly when they went a man down, he really exposed them with some really smart strike plays, as we'll see here. Okay, so both of these tries are when Zebre down to 14. We're going to start with DTH's. He was always going to score in his comeback, wasn't he? How good is he to be having back out there? Oh, he's fantastic. I was really impressed with DTH in terms of his ability to pick up his role and understand the plays almost instantly that he got here. So that's the signs of a true professional. So it wasn't surprised that he got a couple and pretty unlucky not to get a hat trick right at the end. So what are we looking at here? Well, this is a play we've used throughout the year. If we let it play through, he comes in off the blind wing. Courtesy of the fact they're a man down, they have to defend Venditti at 13, and he's the guy we're trying to get at here. So pull out from 7, stop there. We roll in behind Sam Johnston to our 9, and then we've got Nat Grigg as a second short ball option here, which holds up the defence. We've got Adam Hastings going a little bit wider, and then we've got DTH coming through the middle. So this ball can go to either one of these players, depending on what the pre-call is. In this situation here, we see the defender biting in on Griggy, which opens up the space for DTH, and the other defender here being interested by Adams, which opens up the hole for DTH. And he just floods through there, and that's my mate Venditti, unfortunately, going, yes, arse over brisket. So when is that decision being made, whether to hit DTH or Adam there? Well, is it a last-minute thing, or is it? It's generally pre-called, but if we see something different from that defender as we're going to the line, then we can overcall that at the point of the pass. It's just we try and paint a few different pictures at training to see if we can make that call on the run as well. But there's definitely a pre-call based on the fact they had a winger defend at 13. We felt that he may overbite on the 10 as he did. Nice. So the next try was from Henry Pyrgos. Talk us through this one. Yeah, again, without pointing out a guy, but again, Paul Venditti's a winger defend at 13 again. So we play a ball to 12. Sam Johnston does a really good job being direct. Again, Nick Grigg's a real threat, which holds up the 12 for a second. DTH coming around with Adam Hastings, who's come on the loop, and that's really threatening Venditti, who's wanting to pull out onto DTH. Griggy's done a good enough job just to hold the inside defender a little bit, and now he's trying to catch up. But with Adam on the run and with the pace he's got, he just needs to show the ball to continue to keep Venditti out and open up this gap, which he does really well. Secondary to that is to obviously notice the line of Henry Pyrgos and support as this breach is made on the inside there, running that optimistic line that we've seen from George Horn all year. Takes the pass and a couple more guys in support if we need them, so really pleasing. Well, Jay, thanks for your insight and thanks for watching on Warriors HQ. We'll be back next week and we'll be analysing the Scarlets game.
With just one game played in the month of March, there's a slightly different feel to this month's Macrae Financial Services Warrior of the Month. Head coach Dave Rennie has picked an outright winner, and it is up to you to guess who. Dave has based a decision on the performances in our victory over Zebre at Scotstoun, and for your chance to win 2 tickets to our next home game against Connacht and for the opportunity to host the winner with the award at the game, email competition@macraefs.co.uk with who you think Dave has picked to be in with a chance of winning. It was confirmed today that our 1872 Cup decider against Edinburgh at BT Murrayfield on Silver Saturday will kick off at 7:45. The game will also be live on Sky Sports Action, but tickets are still available, so to watch it live, head over to glasgowwarriors.org now. We announced today that after 13 years of professional rugby and over 100 games for Glasgow Warriors, loosehead prop Ryan Grant will be hanging up his rugby boots at the end of the season. In future, he'll be focusing on his gin company, the Garden Sheds drink company that he started up with Rory Jackson, and we wish him all the best of luck. We caught up with him earlier today. Ryan, after a long successful career, you decided to hang up your boots at the end of this year. What's prompted that decision?
A number of things really. Age probably is one of them. My body telling me it's about time. I think my career's been winding down over the last couple of years now, and had a pretty significant back injury last year that's just kind of never gotten right, and the more and more I train, the worse it's getting. So I think now's the right time for my body and my mind. You know, in the army it was a way to be active on duty, but also play a game, and then that's where I kind of fell in love with it, and the kind of teamship of it all. And you know, if there's one thing if there's something you want to do for not the rest of your life, but for a large part of your life, it needs to be fun, and I was enjoying it. So that was when I kind of decided to pursue the professional rugby path.
What do you think you'll miss most about being a professional rugby player? What's the one thing you think you'll look back and will miss the most?
You know, like everyone enjoys the big games. You know, the finals, semi-finals, the European stuff. But I think the thing I'll miss most is just the environment and being around the boys. You know, getting to come in here and muck about with your mates every day for a living. It's pretty special, and it's not something to be taken for granted.
And then looking forward, life after rugby lies in gin, to start with at least.
Yeah. Me and Rory Jackson have set up our own little gin company out at the Garden Shed. The Garden Shed Drinks Company. It's going really well. You know, we've had pretty good feedback so far. Thanks to the guys up at Eden Mill, and the plan is to grow that. You know, there's hopefully some other stuff in the pipeline that'll come out over the next year or so, hopefully. But you know, it's something that I'm pretty passionate about now, and it's something that I've found out with rugby that gives me that same kind of drive. And if I can put the same focus into that as I have my rugby career, then hopefully it can be as successful.
A full interview with Ryan will be up on our YouTube channel tomorrow, and keep an eye on all our social media channels because we'll be announcing our team to face the Scarlets. That's all for this week's Warriors HQ. Join us at the same time next week.
Angels fall to the floor like they would if I was